Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Broncos push to add 1,300-yard playmaker after Sean Payton's comments. The Denver Broncos could let Week 1 starting running back Javonte Williams leave in free agency this offseason. The Broncos could be in the market for a replacement, and pending Dallas Cowboys free agent Rico Dowdle could fit the bill. Dowdle was an undrafted free agent out of South Carolina in 2020. He spent the first 4 seasons of his career operating as a backup. Dowdle started 15 of the 16 games he played for the Cowboys in 2024. The 26-year-old is one of the few potential long-term starters at his position set to be available, and he carries a projected market value of just $6.2 million annually, more than a fair price for a high-volume runner, Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox wrote on February 15. The Denver Broncos should be high on Dowdle for his starting potential. Denver struggled to pair Bo Nix with a consistent ground game in 2024 and is set to lose Javonte Williams in free agency, Mosher wrote. The Broncos ranked 16th in rushing yards as a team. They also had the 4th fewest yards per attempt. Williams, a second-round pick in 2021, struggled for a second consecutive season following a devastating knee injury in 2022. The Broncos started rookie Audric Estime and young veteran Jaleel McLaughlin at least once too. Rico Dowdle is 26 and has just 331 career carries, which should make him an attractive free agent, CBS Sports' Pete Prisco wrote on February 14. His best football might be in front of him. Prisco ranked Dowdle as the top back and the number 36 overall projected available free agent. Dowdle rushed for 1,079 yards and 2 touchdowns behind a maligned Cowboys offensive line, tying him for 12th most during the regular season. He added another 249 yards and 3 TDs on 39 receptions. That multifaceted skill set could appeal to the Broncos. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler considered that part of what's next for the Broncos after pairing head coach Sean Payton with Nix. Of course, that is not the Broncos' only need, which will impact how they allocate resources. With the Bo Nix-Sean Payton tandem in place for years to come, Denver can take this opportunity to elevate the offense, Fowler wrote on February 12. Adding a versatile running back in either free agency or high in the draft will be pivotal. More receiver help would be useful. Zach Allen and Nick Bonitto are among defensive stars who need new deals. The Broncos also must decide whether to extend wideout Courtland Sutton, 29, who was consistent when the team had bad quarterback play but now finally has a good one. Over the cap projects, the Broncos will have $34.8 million in space to work with this offseason. They can create more with extensions for Allen, Bonitto, and Sutton. Williams is 3 years younger than Dowdle and is familiar with the Broncos' offense. Spotrac projects Williams to have a $6.9 million annual value, suggesting a 3-year, $20.6 million pact. Sean Payton's comments could bode well for Rico Dowdle. Williams rushed for 513 yards and 4 touchdowns on 139 attempts in 2024. He also had 346 yards on 52 catches. Payton has espoused faith that Williams would regain his rookie form before. The head coach also mentioned the Broncos' need for an upgrade at playmaker. Unfortunately for Williams, Payton's comments suggest they are indeed targeting the running back spot this offseason. We do the evaluation of our team, and the purpose of that is then to establish what we call musts, needs, and wants, Payton told Kay Adams on Up and Adams on February 5. I would say we need a joker. A joker, now, can be a tight end or a running back that has exceptional, we were spoiled here, in New Orleans, when you think about it, all right? You had Reggie Bush, you had Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Shockey, Darren Sproles, Alvin Kamara. Those are interior, either tight ends or running backs. Payton and the Broncos similarly used wide receiver Marvin Mims late in the season. Paul Finebaum reveals true thoughts on Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most historic franchises in NFL history. Known as America's team, they boast one of the largest brands in sports. In fact, Forbes ranked the Cowboys as the most valuable franchise across all sports. The Dallas Cowboys rank number 11 in total wins in NFL history, making them the only team in the top 11 established after 1950. The franchise was founded in 1960 and has since won 5 Super Bowls, one less than the all-time record held by 2 other teams. The Cowboys are owned by Jerry Jones, who purchased the team in 1989. His tenure began on a high note, as the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls by 1995. However, the team has not appeared in a Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game since then. During the Paul Finebaum Show, SEC Network analyst Paul Finebaum discussed the Dallas Cowboys, stating that many of their problems stem from their owner. Every time you think that Jerry is about to accidentally make a good decision, he makes an even dumber one, Finebaum said. Dallas went 7-10 in 2024 after 3 straight 12-5 seasons, which resulted in them and head coach Mike McCarthy going their separate ways. The Cowboys promoted offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer to head coach. Schottenheimer has no head coaching experience and didn't call plays while the offensive coordinator in Dallas. Instead, that responsibility went to McCarthy. Schottenheimer is the son of legendary head coach Marty Schottenheimer. Marty spent 21 seasons as an NFL head coach. He went 200-126-1 during that time. Marty never won a Super Bowl and is the only NFL head coach with at least 200 regular season wins to have a losing playoff record, not win a championship, and not be inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This marks the 8th head coach Dallas has had since its last Super Bowl win. The hope for Jones is that this is the home run the team is looking for that will get them back to their winning ways. Cowboys trading Dak Prescott to Kellen Moore. Saints rumor demands truth. There is buzz that the Saints might like to move off of Derek Carr. That's legit. There is also buzz that the Saints might like to replace him with Cowboys QB Dak Prescott. That's ridiculous. Answer: when news outlets make up stories about Dallas Cowboys quarterback being traded. The latest round of this ignorant foolishness comes courtesy of the New Orleans Saints having officially introduced Kellen Moore. Moore, 36, served as the offensive coordinator for a Philadelphia Eagles team that just won the Super Bowl. Before that, he ended his playing career as a Dallas backup QB before becoming the Cowboys coordinator and helping Dallas and Dak put up big offensive numbers. Moore, who interviewed this offseason for the head coaching job in Dallas that was eventually won by Brian Schottenheimer, goes to the Saints with the endorsement of Prescott. "My guy," Prescott said upon hearing the news of the Moore move. "For sure, super happy for him. Proud of him winning the Super Bowl, getting that team there. Being the number 1 offense in the league, setting the rushing record, with Saquon Barkley, showing how he's evolved and what he can do, and I think he's just going to take another step in that when he gets to New Orleans. To some, that step must include the Saints' acquisition of a quarterback. Derek Carr is there now, and in his introductory press conference as the new Saints boss, Moore was complimentary of him, calling Carr a starter in this league. But there is buzz that the Saints might like to move off of Carr. That's legit. There is also buzz that the Saints might like to replace him with Dak. That's ridiculous. More than a few websites have correctly noted the Moore/Prescott success with the Cowboys offense during his time, 2019 to 2022, here. Writes one, with Moore on the Cowboys, he led the offense with Prescott to have a top 6 scoring offense in 3 of the 4 seasons. The one season that did not happen was when Prescott suffered a season-ending ankle injury in 2020. Under Moore, Prescott experienced his best seasons with a 66.9% completion percentage, an average of 287.1 yards per game, and 2 touchdowns averaged per game. All true. And A site calling itself TWSN is trying now to convince readers that Moore's relationship with Prescott will lead to a trade that reunites the pair in New Orleans. Trading for Prescott, the site writes, would take other contract gymnastics and modifications to his contract to push his cap hit down the line instead of strapping the Saints for this season. Nope. There are no gymnastics needed that are out of the ordinary. In the event of a trade of Dak, assuming he agrees to it, as he has a no-trade clause in his $240 million contract, what there is $130.2 million in 2025 dead money that would immediately accelerate to the Cowboys' cap, rendering them virtually unable to do any serious roster business for the year. Trading Dak, in short, would mean the Cowboys having no quarterback, no chance at contention and forfeiting the season. TWSN calls all of this the perfect trade opportunity when what it really represents is ignorant clickbait that either A, victimizes the reader, B, exposes the author as a math-dumb fraud, or B, both. And are you a fan? What do you think of Dak Prescott leaving? Leave your opinion in the comments.